is not my first time doing a live stream on YouTube, and it won't be my last. This is going to be pretty much a regular thing for me on a daily basis. So I know that a lot of people are not going to see this right now, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But I want to be, I guess I can say to you guys, I want to be up close and personal today. Um, Make sure y'all can hear me, get my volume right. So I'm learning this. I'm learning this as I go. Right. By the way, it says welcome to the live chat. Remember to guard your privacy. All right, got it. It's a little different than what I'm used to seeing. So I had to make sure all my stuff is right. So what am I talking about? I want to talk about the Patrick Mahomes situation with the ACL tear. Appreciate the love. I can't see you guys down there. That's something I'm used to seeing on TikTok. I can see everybody who's in the audience, but I appreciate the likes for those who I just got. But I can't see you in the audience, so I can't see what you're saying, and maybe I have a setting on here that I need to change so I can see the audience. Um, all right, now I guess I can see comments now. I think I just changed it in the setting. Well, let me just get this out the way, because I wanted to say this, and I didn't talk about it this morning that much. I talked about it in my introduction. Okay, now I can see you guys. All right, what up, Swag? What's up, More Gamble? Do you follow me from TikTok? If so, what's your name on TikTok so I can recognize you? But I wanna just get this off my chest, because I've seen so many different people on social media talk about this Mahomes injury with ignorance. Um, and I'm here to get some things straight today. The reason why I'm here to get some things straight is because I'm tired of the ignorance. All right, so we know that Patrick Mahomes in December of last year went out with an ACL tear that they eventually found out that he had more than an ACL tear. He had an LCL tear as well. It was a total reconstruction of his knee. Now, what blows me away is how many people have gave the guesstimations of how long he was going to be gone. And that's the part that irritates me. Because really that determines the person, not necessarily the injury. The injury, that, from what I understand, the injury is a 10-month injury. That's for the average person to heal from that injury. Okay? But it doesn't say anything about how, I guess you could say, not so average person can heal faster than some other people. They didn't say anything about that. They don't talk about that. So what I did was, I got sick and tired of hearing everybody talk about it. So what I did was is I jumped on the phone and I called some professionals that I knew, mostly therapists, rehab therapists, about this injury. And believe it or not, every single one of them had dealt with this injury before. Now, the funny thing about it is they were talking about the pain tolerance, because you're feeling pain from your actual injury, but then they say you're feeling pain from the reconstruction. So it's the actual injury, then the knee gets fixed, then it's the pain from the reconstruction of the knee, because your knee is trying to adjust to what's just been done to it. And what happens is some athletes have a high pain tolerance. Some athletes don't. I mean, in other words, some athletes can play with a lot of pain, or deal with things that causes a lot of pain, but some athletes can't. And although they differed in a lot of different things, one thing that was in common was they said it was a reconstruction. That means the surgeon went in, reconstructed the knee, fixed it. Now, I know you guys have heard this before, setbacks. I've heard if somebody has an injury, they had a setback. And you're thinking, well, what exactly is a setback? Normally, a setback is something that really the therapist can't fix. That's something the doctor has to go back. The surgeon has to go back in there and say, let me see to make sure all this stuff is right, to make sure it's correct, to make sure everything is healing properly. And then what happens is what they normally find is inflammation. So inflammation, swelling in the inside of the knee, or inflammation and build up around the knee. And that causes a setback, because the reason why it's a setback is because they can't go through the normal therapy that they go through until they get the inflammation out of the knee or whatever body part that they're dealing with. You got the inflammation out, now you're back on track again. But that happens. But again, I say, that's with average people. Most athletes are not average. What I mean by that is their body is in great shape. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all, some of those athletes, their bodies are not in great shape. But most athletes are. Mahomes' body is in good shape. So what happens? So now you find a good surgeon. The surgeon does his job. He's an ace at this. He gets your knee fixed. And your knee is fixed. Now you got a rehab, and this is where the great ones separate themselves from the average one. And let me be honest with y'all, Mahomes, not average. Now, I don't know Patrick Mahomes personally. I really don't. I've never met him. I never talked to him. I don't know anything about him. But I do know what I see. I've watched his workouts, his end of the season workouts, his beginning of the season workouts. I've watched his work ethic. I've seen everything I need to see on video, and I ain't never shook this kid's hand. I may never do it. But I've seen this guy work and work and work. Everything to him is a competition. When somebody says he's going to come back in 10 months, he want to prove him wrong. I want to come back in 6 months, or I want to come back in 7 months. So he had his surgery in December. We all know that. Everybody know that. He had his surgery immediately. Before the swelling kicked in, before the inflammation kicked in, he had his surgery. Within 2 weeks of that surgery, 3 weeks of that surgery, he was already doing an interview talking about the injury and what happened with the surgery. He was on crutches. That's three weeks after. A month after, we didn't see any pictures of him. He disappeared. He was not on social media. He wasn't doing any workouts. And then the next thing we saw after that was him walking into a basketball game. Walking. No cane, no crutches. Now, this is the part where I can tell you the therapist was saying he has a great therapist. In other words, so what a therapist does is they go in, they look at you, they judge you by your pain tolerance. Appreciate the love, y'all. They're judging you by your pain tolerance. How much pain can you take? Now, the pain that you're feeling is because of the reconstruction, not because of the injury. When somebody does surgery on you, I'm sorry, you're gonna feel pain. It just is what it is, right? You're gonna feel pain. And that's the physical part of it. I'm feeling this pain mentally. Remember his special psalms is what? Holy Ghost is his law. Okay, so remember, you're feeling the pain from the reconstructed, the surgery. So now the therapist's job is to go off in there and say, okay, we're going to start doing a series of exercises. You tell me what pain you feel. You feel pain when I do this? You feel pain when I do that? You feel pain when I do this? Yes. Okay, great. So guess what? I'm going to need you to do these exercises. I'm going to have you to do these exercises with me. While I'm doing these exercises, it's going to be with me. We're doing these exercises. Okay, so we do these exercises. So Mahomes, this is where your mentality kicks in at. I know you're feeling pain, but I need you to do these exercises. I need you to do these, and Mahomes is attacking. Y'all heard this in the news. Y'all heard this in the media. He's attacking his rehab. So that means he's showing up. Attacking means simple. I'm showing up when I'm supposed to show up. I'm working hard when I show up. And when you say that's enough, I say, can we go a little further? And then the therapist will look at you and say, you sure you can handle the pain? I can handle the pain. Let's go. And then you work harder. That's attacking, that's what attacking your rehab means. I'm showing up every day. Now the therapist is going to give you at a Q&A sticker, road trips. Now the therapist is going to give you a series of exercises that they want you to do at home. Now look, Mahomes, when you're at home, I need you to do these exercises for me. I need you to constantly have Brittany helping you do this exercise. Have her bend your knee a little bit, only to the point to where you can take it. Do these exercises at home. So he's doing that. He's doing all that stuff. Now he goes back to rehab the next day. Notice I'm telling you, it's a trend. It's just a cycle. Every single day I'm attacking this thing. Every single day. I'm not missing a day. I'm not staying home depressed because I may miss some games. No, I ain't doing all that. I'm not even thinking about missing games. Not even thinking about next season. I'm thinking about healing, rehabbing. That's what I'm thinking about. So get me right. I can take the pain. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And I do this for 30 straight days. Then I do it for 60 straight days. Now, they're going to give you the walk test. And every day you're doing a walk test, you put some pressure on it. Put some pressure on it. Don't be afraid. Put some pressure on it. And you're putting pressure on it. So after a while, anything that you rehab, I'm putting pressure. Putting pressure. Putting pressure. Putting pressure. And after a while, the pain goes away, but it still feels a little weird. Because remember, your knee has been reconstructed. It's not your knee. It's not the knee you were born with. They actually had to put that knee back together. Probably add some stuff off there to help you out too. So it's not the same knee, so you're trying to get it. Okay, you're trying to get it. And the funny thing is people can look at me and say, well, Swag, how the hell you know this? How the hell you know this? I've rehabbed things before. I've never had ACL, but I've rehabbed things before. I had to rehab my hand for almost 8 months. And that's what therapists do. Not to mention, if you guys or anybody on here is an athlete, anybody who's watching this athlete, they know I'm telling the truth. That's how you rehab things. So you're putting pressure. You're putting pressure. And now you know, before you know it, you start walking. So when you start walking, and it's been a month since your surgery, now you're pumped. So now you're pumped, right? And so you're like, okay, I'm pumped. I'm walking now. So now you're walking in your house, you walk into your car, you don't need no help, you don't need no crutches, so you're motivated. Your motivation is just to an all-time high. It's just to an all-time high. And the next thing you know, you're like, okay. So now you're going to the second phase of rehab. Now that you're walking and we can put pressure on it, let's see how we can bend this thing. Let's see if we can bend it. Let's see if we can bend it. Come on, let me bend it. You know, the biggest thing I heard throughout this whole injury process with Mahomes is when they said he can bend his knee 90 degrees. When I heard that, I was like, oh, he done healed. So in other words, I knew right then and there he had healed. So if you can bend your knees 90 degrees, what they're saying is, I can bend it 90. They're not saying that you can bend it 90 degrees without pain. They're just saying you can bend it 90 degrees. So now that knee is working. It's working. So just look at it like a jack. I'm jacking something up. So they're taking your knee and they're bending their knee. And they're bending their knee. Now they're going to twist it to the left and they're going to twist it to the right. And he's going to feel pain. And you're going to do that every single day until you don't feel pain no more. And then when you don't feel pain, you start running. Now it's time to start running. So now that you're running, Sean was a consistency matters in injuries. It does, right? So now you're running. You're running. You're running. You're doing little short steps. Bam, run to this area, run back to that area. Don't be trying to do it so fast. Relax. Just try it over there. Do this now. Come on, let's do these exercises. These exercises, moving to the left, moving to the right. Move to how your knee feel. You feel anything? Yeah, I feel a little pain when I do that. Okay. All right, let's slow down a little bit. Let's do some more. And you're doing this for 2 days. I don't know if y'all heard Clark Hunt. was said that he was watching Mahomes rehab. He said, I'm just telling you guys right now, this guy's relentless. He's working his ass off. I mean, to get this knee back right, Now, if you're not a Kansas City Chiefs fan, you don't know what we're talking about when we talk. Some of the things that we talk about Kansas City, you have no idea. The only way you know about Kansas City is you hear something on ESPN. So when somebody's telling you, hey, this guy's going to be right. Andy Reid smiled when they asked him a question. And they said, what's going on with Mahomes? How is he doing? He's in the building every day. He's working hard. That's how he answered the question, and he smiled. It wasn't what he said, it's the smile. The smile is what got me. The smile is, man, anyway. In other words, it's not even a thought in my mind who's going to be my starting quarterback next year. And who's going to be my starting quarterback from week one. That's not even a doubt in my mind. I'm literally game planning for him to be there. Why? Because I see him working. That's the part you and I can't see. We can't see him working. So next thing you know, now it's December. Y'all hear me out. I did all these exercises. It's December when I got hurt. I had the surgery in December, January, February, March. 90 days. I'm out there with a compression sleeve throwing the ball. I'm out there with the compression sleeve throwing the ball. I'm out there with the compression. Y'all looking like, what the hell? There's no way this guy's throwing the ball now. Yes, it is. All you have to do is attack the rehab. So now, 4th month, 5th month, I expect, I kid you not, I expect inflammation to eventually grow in there. And the reason why I expect it is because that's what the therapist had told me. It's normal for any injury to experience inflammation. Inflammation means it's going to swell a little bit, especially when you work it too hard. So they're going to probably say, hey, relax for 2 weeks. Let's get this inflammation out of there. Let's let it rest some. But they're not going to report that to you because that's not really a setback. A setback is when you got to go back to the doctor. I mean, so I ain't really got no setback. What we do need is rest this thing. So you'll see him pop up here, pop up there. He won't be on no crutches. Pop up here, pop up there. He's walking here, he's walking there. He's doing this. Bam, now I'm back at it. So around around May is when spring training starts. April, May, somewhere off with a draft, then spring OTAs, rookie OTAs, and then spring training, and then actual training camp. So right around OTAs, no, I'm sorry. It depends if the Chiefs draft a receiver. If the Chiefs draft a receiver, you'll see him in rookie minicamp. Why is he at rookie minicamp? Because he has no time in with those rookie receivers. Now, you're going to get Justin Fields out there throwing them balls, and then because, Justin Fields, who probably not even used to going to rookie OTAs, but I guarantee you he's going to be there with the Chiefs because he's going to be following everything Mahomes does. That's what I was trying to tell somebody. He may not talk to the offense coordinator. He may not talk to the coach. But I'll tell you, I know damn well he's talking to Mahomes. And when you're talking about somebody who's coming off an ACL injury, and then they calling you on the phone and say, hey, man, you going to be at OTAs? Yeah, because I'm going to be there. I'm going to be at OTAs. We're going to throw some balls around. We're going to go through the offense. This is what happens. This is the difference between elite and average. So watch. So Justin Fields going to get the time of his freaking life because he's going to spend a year. It's going to change his entire career. If he's a coachable person, this is going to change his entire career because he's going to get a chance to work with one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback, in my book, the best quarterback I have ever seen. Not just because of what he do on the field, because of his work ethic. So now, I done went through rehab. I got a compression sleeve on. And that's the key I was bringing to y'all earlier. A compression sleeve basically means I'm trying to make sure I get the proper blood flow through that part of my body. Now, it's not just the knee, it's the entire leg. I want to make sure I'm getting the proper blood flow. I wear compression. I have to wear compression for something that happened to me 2 years ago. And it's for the proper blood flow. Right? So since it's for the proper blood flow, what does that tell me? That tells me that he's healed. I know setbacks. This son of a bitch is healed now. So why am I telling you that? Because if it's a brace, A brace job is designed to keep the knee intact, to keep everything together. Compression is about blood flow. So if I'm not wearing a brace, if I'm wearing a brace, that means I'm not completely healed yet. That means that I need to keep everything in place. But if I'm wearing compression, that means I've healed. Now, I'm not saying that Mahomes won't go and eventually put on a brace. That's the blood flow correctly. It's showing me like exactly. So I'm not saying Mamba mentality. Yep, Eddie, that's exactly right. Mamba mentality. So that's what I'm doing. Now watch. Here's the thing. This dude ain't missing training camp. This dude ain't missing OTAs. This dude ain't missing spring training. He's there when the rookies are there. Now y'all starting to understand what I kept saying, that Mahomes is different. At the very beginning, if you follow me on TikTok, I told everybody, I say, y'all don't really understand that this guy is different than anything you have ever seen before. Why do you think you guys talk about Kobe? Why do you think you talk about Jordan? Why do you think you talk about these top athletes? Because of their mentality. It's not necessarily they play. It's their mentality, how they see things. They see things totally, they see things with the glass half full. Most people, not you, but most people see things with the glass half empty. They see it totally different. I have an opportunity to do well, and since I have an opportunity to do well, I'm just going to do well. I mean, how many times have we seen great players in games like the Mahomes and all those great players that we name on a daily basis, and we see them in games, and they look defeated. They look like it's over, it's done. I mean, they did. That's how they look. And you look on their face and you're saying, "Oh man, they defeated." They're not defeated. They're bored. Like I'm bored. Like I want the ball back. Then as soon as they get the ball, they grab the helmet. They put the helmet on. They go run up to the coach. And then they're excited. Okay, man, let's go do this thing. And then all of a sudden, it's swim. I'm like, whoa. I just looked at this guy on the sideline and he looked defeated. How in the hell? I remember a funny story. When Jim Brown played football, and it became a thing back then. When Jim Brown played football, when Jim Brown would get hit, Jim Brown would walk back to the huddle real slow. So the defense would be like, "Oh, we got him. And then as soon as you hand the ball off again, he's running through your defense again. And if you go back and look at the running backs from especially the 80s, moving into the 90s, every single one of them got up slow and walked back to the huddle slow. It was a psychological thing to the defense, because the defense is like, "Yeah, that was a good hit. We got him now." And then they running through you like Swiss cheese. I'm trying to tell you guys. So why am I saying this? Because that's what great quarterbacks do when they're on the sideline and they're bored out of their damn mind. So when you're looking at him, he's bored, because when you get on the field, he's gonna show you, "I just been ready to get on the field." That's all that was on my mind. When I watch him with this injury, guys, I watched the first interview. I wasn't listening to necessarily what he was saying, even though that part was important too. I was looking at how he looked. Like, in other words, I look frustrated. I look helpless. I look like I can't stand being this way. I'm going to answer these questions and I'm going to get off. And I guarantee you, a guy like that, that's on crutches, and he's on crutches, and his wife got to help him do this and help him do that, it's driving him up the damn wall. He's like, I can't do this. So what does that do? It adds motivation to your rehab. The minute he started walking again, the minute he started running again, I can bet you any kind of money. And I don't know Mahomes nor Brittany, but I can bet you any kind of money. He was like, I got it. I don't need it. Come on, anybody, if you're a young man, what thing you hate is people helping you do stuff when you're hurt. Like I got it. I can do this. Even though it may be painful as hell, this and that. Because you know what? You don't want to have that feeling of helpless. I'm helpless. You don't want that. You hate that crap. If you're a man, you hate that. I mean, like, seriously, I would never ever forget when I got hurt one time on a basketball court, just playing pickup basketball. I got hurt real bad. It was my ankle. I thought I had broke it, But it come to find out it was just a bad sprain. But I thought I had broke it. And I remember the guys on the court, y'all know how it is when you're playing pickup basketball. It ain't nobody else extra. So they're looking at it and they're like, oh man, I guess we gotta play 2-on-2. I was like, what are y'all talking about? Oh, you gonna play? I said, yeah, I'm gonna finish this game. You gonna finish this game, man. You should go to the hospital. You ain't gonna make me broke, man. Look, we gonna finish this game. Let's go. And then you never forget how they look at you when they look at you and you finish the game, because they're not even thinking about winning or losing now. They're just thinking about if your ankle is broke. And then you play well, and then all of a sudden you start playing really good, and you're like, hold on, this somebody's trying to beat us. And then they end up beating you because you can't really do anything. You're just playing as hard as you can. That's a pickup game. I don't get no money for that. It's just bragging rights. Mahomes get paid to do this. He get paid for that. So if I can play, I'm playing. It's that simple. Am I 100%? No. Am I 89, 90%? Yeah, I'm 90%. I'm good. I can go out there and kill people at 90%. At 100%, I'm almost unstoppable. But at 90%, I can go out there and make your day bad. That's the difference between elite, high echelon, and average and below average. It's not what they do, it's their mentality, how they think about things. And when I see that kid and the way he thinks and the way he talks and how he acts, 1-5 is different. I have been trying to tell people that. Y'all heard me say it on my show. 1-5 is different. I do not understand how you guys don't see that. I don't give a damn if you like him or you don't. Do you see how he just separates himself from the competition? You can see it when the game is going on. Even if the quarterback balling out, the one that he going against, you still watching 1-5. Some of y'all are watching him to say, he gonna choke. This is gonna be the year he chokes. Then he don't choke and you're like, shit. When is the year he gonna choke? Let's be honest, guys. When y'all seen Kobe Bryant play, he choked his rookie year and never choked again. Ever. You always can count on Kobe Bryant when he did when he did his thing. And that's for all the great players. Well, not all of them. You can always count on most of the elite players to be great, especially when they had to be great. This injury is no different for Patrick Mahomes. It's just part of his legacy. Just like it was part of Brady's legacy. And here's another thing I want to touch on before I forget. Y'all heard me say about overcompensating for that knee. So when you have an injury, and this is another thing the therapist taught me. When you have an injury, and I should know it for myself because my right hand, well, I take that back. I broke my right finger, and it's the only bone I ever had broken in my life. I broke my right finger. You should see how strong my right finger is compared to my left finger. I mean, it's a clear difference, especially when I hold a football or when I hold a basketball. I can clearly feel, or when I'm lifting weights, I can clearly feel that right pinky is much stronger than that left pinky. And it's not because my left pinky is weak. It's because my right pinky had rehab. So when you have rehab on a knee, that knee is now going to be stronger, probably the strongest part of your body, because it's been reconstructed. That's what that means, to make it better, to make it stronger. So you're doing all this rehab, that's overcompensating. That's overcompensating for an injury. That's what you're doing. You're putting so much pressure on it. You're working it. And your left knee ain't getting no love. It ain't getting no love. You're right. I'm sorry, I say left knee. If it's your left knee, your right knee ain't getting no love. If it's your right knee, your left knee ain't getting. So even though that knee is already strong, that other knee that you're working on is going to be stronger. So the reason why I bring that up is because a lot of people have been saying he's not going to be the same. He ain't going to be running like he used to. He ain't going to be. Yes, he is. And not only is he going to be running like he used to, he probably would be a better runner because he's going to feel that strength in that knee. He's going to feel it. Do y'all? I don't know if y'all remember. If y'all want to, y'all can go back and watch. Gale Sayers tore his ACL in a time when you didn't come back from ACLs. And he reconstructed that knee, came back. That knee he was so much better when he came back. Because Gale Sayers was a cutter. Like, I mean, if you go watch him play, his cuts were like precise. Bam, I dig into it, and you are just way over there because I cut on a dime. He's a running back. Mahomes is a quarterback. Mahomes will be able to cut on a dime with that knee. The first time he experienced that he can do that, and he feels how strong it is, yeah, I think that LaShawn should be running more now because he knows that you think that he can't run. So he's going to show you that he can run. Then once he show you, I promise y'all, this is what's going to happen. Y'all remember I said this. He's going to get up from the scramble, and when he get up, especially if it's one of those patented Mahomes scrambles at the right time, critical time in the game, and he rushed for 20 yards, and then they tackle him, he's going to get up, he's going to point at his knee, and he's going to say, he's going to do something like that. Like, like he's going to let you know, I'm back. You watch and see what I tell you. He do things like that all the time just to show you. When he hear things in social media, just to show you, I hear you, but look where I'm at. So guys, I want to just share this with y'all. For those who are listening, stop letting people talk to you about Patrick Mahomes. Stop letting them do it. They're not understanding what they're seeing. When you see something so great, and you've been seeing it year after year after year, it frightens you. Even as a fan of Mahomes, it frightens me. And I'm being honest with y'all, because like I told Chum this morning when I was talking to Chum, Mahomes is the best I've ever seen. And ain't nobody even close. And it's not what he does on the field. It's not the sidearm throws. It's not the great pinpoint passes or the scrambles or his ability to beat you in the end. None of that shit. Many quarterbacks have done that. It's his awareness. The things I see this guy the things I see this guy do is incredible. And I'm older than most of you guys. I'm telling you, I've seen great quarterbacks. This dude is the only person that when he does something, I just shake my head like, I cannot believe you were able to accomplish that. Like, let's be honest. Everybody was talking about the no-look pass. I'm sorry, the behind-the-back pass he threw in preseason 2 years ago. And that stuff like that is him just showing out. That ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when he making passes like he made in the AFC Championship to Travis Kelce. And Travis Kelce made that great catch. And everybody was like, what a catch. I was like, what a throw. And the reason I said what a throw is, I threw it to the only place I can throw it to that the defense couldn't get to it. I have a 4-man bracket in the middle of that. 4 men can actually get to that ball. If I throw it the right way, the direction that Travis Kelce is running, that ball is going to get intercepted. So I got to throw the ball purposely behind him, and he has to make basically a 180-degree turn just to make the catch. And that's the only spot I can throw it to. For you to make a play like that on the run, that's incredible. I was telling Chum about this morning. Go back and watch the Detroit Lions game. This is Mahomes' second year starting. Go back and watch that game. There's only one play I want you to find. Find the play where he scrambles for about 30 yards. But don't look at the scramble. Look at what he does before the scramble. If you watch, he goes to run the ball, and before he goes to run, he turns around to see if there's a flag on the field. Because I ain't running 30 yards if we got called for holding. When he seen there wasn't no flag, he ran 30 yards down the field. And all I kept saying was, Did I just see that? Are you really that aware? Did I just see that? I did not just see that. Not from a third-year quarterback. There's no way I seen it. I may have been his second year. There's no way this guy's doing this in this soon of in his career. I'm looking to make sure that they didn't get called for holding. And that's many, many, many times. You go back and watch things. Listen to him at the line of scrimmage. Listen to what he's saying. And think about that this dude has only been in the league 8 years. How in the world are you looking at this? For somebody that couldn't even read defense as his first starting year, he's just out there playing like backyard football. To now he's reading defenses. He's calling them out. He's calling his blocking schemes. He's calling everything. He can get in spots and throw balls in spots that nobody else can get there. You're looking at maybe the greatest quarterback you've ever seen. But you're too busy hating and trying to find flaws instead of just paying attention to greatness. Let me tell you something. When Brady was doing his thing, guys, I was paying attention. When that guy was doing his thing, I was paying attention to how good he was. And oh my God, Brady was good. But Brady, his football IQ, his awareness, his ability to slide in the pocket was beautiful. Dang, Mahomes got all that and then some. Like I'm just telling you guys, when you're watching greatness, don't hate it. Respect it. Because you might not see nobody like him for years. Once he's gone, you may not see anybody like him again. And the reason why I say that is because this is how I tell y'all a funny story. Y'all know I'm not a big Dallas Cowboy fan. I didn't really pay attention to the Dallas Cowboy dynasty until after all of them was gone. And then I watched the documentary on how good their team was. I'm gonna put this out there and tell y'all, go watch it. That really was disgusting how good they really were. The Dallas Cowboys in that era, if they would have kept Jimmy Johnson, the Dallas Cowboys would probably won 4 or 5 Super Bowls, maybe in a row. That's how good they were. I mean, I'm just going to be totally honest with y'all. That if you say every single position was elite, everybody that played was elite. What I mean by that is not elite as an individual player outside of their system. In that system, they were elite. And I didn't appreciate them because I couldn't stand them. But now, I appreciate them. That's why I don't talk shit about teams that I can't stand, because when you're looking at greatness, you're looking at greatness. And I don't want to cheat that. I don't want to cheat myself from watching greatness when it's actually happening. Like I'm actually there watching it as it happened. I don't want to cheat myself for that, because when have y'all ever seen the movie about the United States hockey team that upset Russia? I don't know if you guys ever seen it. The movie's called Miracle. And at the end of the movie, they put a quote up there by the actual coach who coached that hockey team, who was the only one that truly believed that they can beat Russia. Because everybody else is full of shit. That coach was the only one who truly believed they could beat Russia. They were good enough to beat Russia. And at the end of the thing, it said he never got it. They asked him, was he going to watch the movie? He said, I don't have to watch anything that I lived. In other words, in the moment, it's so much better than watching it back on replay. Because in the moment that you're watching it, that's great. And when you see 1-5 play, you're seeing something everybody will remember when he's gone. They're going to always bring his name up as one of the best they've ever seen. And we only in the second half of his season. We're just starting to get in the second half of his career. We already seen what the first half. If he stopped right now, he's a Hall of Fame, first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback. Right now. If he just stops. And imagine he's going to give us at least hopefully another 5-6 years. You put that in, y'all try to put that in context for me. Please do. Because if this guy done already showed us what he can do in 8 years, If you give us another 6, 7 years, what can he do then? This will go down in history as one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game, if not the best quarterback to ever play the game. His quarterbacking will be mimicked for young quarterbacks coming up today. They will always, like right now, you got somebody who can throw right-handed and left-handed. Mahomes can throw right-handed and left-handed, he just don't do it in the game. But this guy's actually was raised this way, right hand, left hand. Just imagine how all of these changes y'all are about to see is because of 1-5. I ain't just nothing taking it anywhere. I'm not taking anything away from Lamar and Josh and all those guys. I ain't taking it away. But I'm sorry, when I watch those guys, I don't get the same feeling I get when I watch 1-5. When I'm watching 1-5, I'm sorry to tell y'all, I don't watch it to see if the Chiefs gonna win. I'm trying to see what they're gonna do next. The Chiefs winning is just a bonus. I just want to see what you're gonna do. How are you gonna impress me this year? Because I know you are, but how? 1-5 is the best thing my eyes have ever seen. Sean asked me this morning, he said, Swag, you've seen a lot of quarterbacks? I said, I sure have. I ain't never seen nobody like 1-5. Ever. And anybody tell you that they have that's my age, they're lying. They're a hater. Because the guys I talk to, the guys that are my age, we all feel the same way. Ain't nothing like 1-5. I got people who never watched the Kansas City Chiefs ever in their life watch the Kansas City Chiefs now just for 1-5. They just want to see what he's going to do next. Like, so, I'm so happy for you guys that jumped on. I really feel that I feel you guys support for the 2-3 people that's been on here the whole time. This is just like how my show was on TikTok when I first started on TikTok. I just have 1 or 2 people come on my show every day. But this is going to be a show that I do. I don't get opportunities to talk about the Chiefs that much, and I don't get opportunities to talk about the Saints that much because my show is about 32 teams. And the truth of the matter is I'm from Louisiana. I like the Saints. I cheer for the Saints because that's my hometown. That's my home state. But my love for the NFL is the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, that's why you'll see me talk about them more. But I don't get a chance to do that on my show. So this is where I'm going to do it at. Because people have been asking me that. And there's a lot I want to say about the Chiefs that some people are not even talking about. I see all the different people that are doing their Chiefs segments and stuff like that. They're not, I promise y'all, I'm not saying this to toot my own horn. I'm just saying some of the things that I'm going to be talking about, you ain't never heard before. You ain't never heard before. So this is going to be an everyday thing for me now. I started it now. Because I get tired of not being able to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs like I want to. And eventually I'm going to go to a panel where it's going to be just Chiefs fans. Either way it go, it's just a swag in me to want to get it out of my system because I hear so many people trying to diminish what the Chiefs have done and trying to write them off now. I'm diminishing their history and I'm just writing them off right now. They're done. Their dynasty is over with. Be quite honest with y'all. Don't tell nobody. That dynasty they just lost. That's over. They're getting ready to start a new one. That's why I was happy Travis Kelce came back. Because at least he can say I was a part of the last one and I started with this one. Because this is going to be another dynasty. Do not be surprised if you don't see the Kansas City Chiefs dominate for the next 3 to 5 years like it wasn't nothing. Just remember I said, just like I said, the injury, he'll be back when training camp starts. I'm telling y'all this, from what I see, with everybody else trying to catch up with the Kansas City Chiefs, even though they didn't make the playoffs last year, which was a good thing, not a bad. I know a lot of y'all hate that when I say that, but it was. It was time for them to rest. Now they're going to go on another run again. Just remember I said that. Listen, guys, thank y'all so much for joining my show. I really appreciate it. This is your boy Swag. Peace. I'm out. That was a good show. Now I got to figure out how to get out of this.